Happy Tuesday. Today's October 6th, 2020. Keep in mind we have tutoring after school today, so hang out with me and get yourself caught up. In every class, I have kids that are missing work. There are still several kids in every class, and if you're here, you know who you are. Hey, forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, and then let's do better. Learn from our mistakes, because if you weren't passing at the 6 weeks, oh well, the world's not going to end. But the 9 weeks, that's half a semester. You want to be sure you get caught up long before then, so it's not, oh my God, it's the last week and the teacher hasn't updated my missing work yet. Well, don't wait till the last week. Take care of it now. Now is always the best time. And that's what your teachers are here for. We're here to help you. We're teachers because we care. So let us help you. Let me help you. Come after school today or Thursday. And if you can't make those times, well, then message me. I'll find another time that works for both of us. And today we will be focusing on the theme for our project and primary source documents. And I will read primary source documents and understand the times that they represent. And it's going to be really fun. I found a really interesting article that has stories of people that survived a really, really bad explosion. And we'll find out more about that in a minute. But for right now, today is a good day, and I am so glad you're here. Come on, unmute yourselves. You can do it. You're a good person. Unmute yourself. Let me hear some voices. What are you? I am smart, confident, and successful. Awesome. Thank you. And how do you feel about reading? I love reading. It's so much fun. Thank you. Last one. Let me hear some more voices. You can do it. How do you feel about schoolwork?
The harder I work,
the smarter I become.
I become.
That's true. It's so true. And so many of us, oh, I'm not good at it. Well, the only way to get good at it is to keep doing it and do your best. All right, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get to our work. I didn't actually mean to get us out of screen share. Oh well. So our work for today is Tuesday, October 6th, and we have our project. So you can open this up and look at it for yourself, but I'm going to show you on screen what I'm talking about. We're going to have a project today, or actually for the next week and a half. And it's our multi-genre project. So you're going to find interesting things. Short story, books, short story, essays, drama, stuff from plays, and other stuff like that to talk about a theme and show people the power of a theme. So what we're doing today is we're just going to pick our theme. And we're going to pick our theme because we're going to start doing writing for it, probably either tomorrow or Thursday. So it's important that you take care of it today and know what you're going to write so you can focus that way. So we're going to use 2 pieces of our own, and we're going to find 2 published works that we think are good examples that we can use to talk about the theme and how it works and how important it is. So during this project, you will demonstrate what you've learned about different genres by creating a collection of published and original works centered around a specific theme or topic. And in my class, it's pretty much going to be themed, and you can focus on the different topics around it. But what are the themes? Well, the 6 common themes in literature, the ones that most stories are connected to, is good versus evil. Everybody's seen a superhero movie, right? Everybody has seen Harry Potter movie, and poor little Harry Potter is fighting against Voldemort, and he's going to stop him. He's not going to give up. Good versus evil. Love, plenty of love in the world, and not just romantic love, not like, oh, she's so pretty, he's so handsome. No, you love your family, you love your friends, you love your pets, you love the earth, and you want to take care of it. So stories about love are very powerful, of course. Redemption. Oh, I screwed up so bad. I have to redeem myself. It's my fault our team lost the game. So I'm going to go practice even harder. I'm going to work out harder. I'm going to memorize my play so I know what to do. And then I'm going to redeem myself. I'm going to score the winning touchdown. I'm going to make that buzzer beater basket. And I'm going to redeem myself. So think about that. Courage and perseverance, we've already read a couple of things focused on that, right? We read Invictus. I'm not going to give up. I don't care what I have to suffer through. I am the captain of my fate, right? Coming of age. is basically centered around people like you, teenagers, 15, 16, 17, falling in love and getting your heart broken and figuring out who you are and what you want to do with your life. Those are all coming of age stories. And we've looked at, remember, First Impression, where the girl goes to the new school and the teacher's wearing the same dress as her. Mexican White Boy, about the boy that's a great pitcher, but he's awkward around people and doesn't know how to talk to people because he's so shy. Those are great coming of age stories. And then, of course, revenge. We saw what happened with Frankenstein's monster, who was basically kicked out and horrified by his creator and by everybody he met. So eventually it was like, you treat me like a monster, I'll show you what a monster is. So you want to pick the one you want to work with. Could you pick more than one? No. But good and evil also comes down to courage and perseverance too. It's just a matter of the focus. So decide today, which one do I want to pick? Pick the one you want and go to, where is it? Is it here? Yeah, go to today's work, Tuesday's work, 10/6/2020, and click on the graded discussion. And they're listed for you again. Once again, good versus evil, love, redemption, courage and perseverance, coming of age, and revenge. Click here and tell me all about it. If you just put good versus evil, or maybe 3 or 4 words, you're going to get a 70. If you write 2 lines, you're going to get an 85. 3 lines, a 90. 4 lines or more, you'll get 100. So take your time. We'll take about 5 or 10 minutes and get this decided now. If you're really not sure what to do, hey, message me. That's what I'm here for. And let's get this done. All right, I'm going to go ahead and quit talking, and y'all get answering, and then we'll move on. Tuesday's work and primary source documents. So click on that, open that up, have it on your own screen. And it is an article from Texas Monthly. I didn't copy the whole thing. There was like literally probably 50 or 100 different first-person accounts of what happened. And I picked the most interesting ones, of course, because I'm cool like that. So get it open, and we're going to be reading this together. The first part, and y'all finish on your own as usual. If you can't open the document, of course, let me know. All right, so let's start reading. Once again, I expect you to read along. You're a good person. Put what you're doing aside if you're doing something else and focus on this. Okay, March 2007. Oh my God, it's our children. Excerpted from Texas Monthly. On March 18th, 1937, the combined junior-senior high school in the small East Texas town of New London exploded without warning, killing nearly half of the students and teachers. To commemorate the 70th anniversary of that tragic day, survivors remember the horrific events and the heroic response that changed their lives forever. So once again, of course, we're going to read the background information on the side, right? We're going to look at the picture. You should be looking at that picture right now. Look at that building. The building actually goes all the way to the opposite side of the picture. If you pay attention, you can see behind the truck, under that triangle shape, there's the other end of the building. So like literally half of it blew up and blew out. And it's great to have that picture in your mind, right, as we read using our imagination. All right, let's continue. It is considered the worst school disaster in U.S. history. On Thursday, March 18th, 1937, at 3:17 in the afternoon, some 700 students and 40 teachers were inside the high school in New London, about 25 miles southeast of Tyler. Yeah, this is in Texas. When natural gas that had been leaking into the classrooms from the basement ignited, leveling the structure with a force that could be felt, for at least 4 miles in every direction. Poverty-stricken families who had flooded the area's oil fields during the Great Depression had been proud to send their children to one of the wealthiest rural school districts in the nation. Why was it wealthy? Oil. Back in that time, right? Texas was big for oil. Let's continue. Its taxable value in 1937 had grown to 20 million. An additional revenue from 15 oil wells on district property contributed to top-notch facilities on a 21-acre campus that included an elementary building, a gymnasium, and even a lighted football field. So think about it. 1937, that was 70 years ago, 80 years ago, and a lighted football field. Nobody's surprised by that today, right? But in 1937, when people just started getting electricity in their homes in the late 1920s, that was huge. That was ridiculously expensive. And that just shows you how much times have changed. Their $20 million value in tax, maybe now it'd be 200 million, right? Not 20 million. But let's continue. The crown jewel belonged to children in 5th through 11th grade, senior year at that time. The $300,000 two-story junior and senior high school, an E-shaped building, fully equipped with a chemistry lab, an auditorium with a balcony and an industrial arts complex. So that school was expensive. Once again, nowadays it'd be 300 million, not 300,000. On that fateful day, 13 minutes before the final class was dismissed, a spark from some equipment in the workshop triggered an explosion that ripped through the building, killing approximately 300 students and teachers. Survivors wandered the grounds, only to discover they had lost classmates and relatives, and frantic parents were handed the horrific task of identifying the mangled remains of the dead. So just imagine how you would feel if you go to school looking for your children and they can't find them, and they say, well, we've got about 14 dead kids that are so crushed we can't tell who they are. See if one of those is yours. Yeah, what a crazy situation to be in, right? While investigations exonerated all parties of blame, stating that no one could have known that the odorless gas had been accumulating, some parents were furious to learn that the school had canceled its natural gas contract to tap into a free residue gas line, a widespread practice at the time. But when the faulty connection leaked, the results were lethal. The legislature's swift passage of a bill requiring the odorization of natural gas provided little comfort to grieving families in the town of 1,000 people. And few spoke of the grim incident until 1977, when a reunion broke the 4-decade-long silence. On this 70th anniversary of the explosion, we asked survivors to share their memories. So anybody that has a gas stove at home, or even have a propane barbecue grill in the backyard, you turn on the gas, then you hear the click, and then it lights. But before it lights, you can smell the stink of propane or natural gas, right? Well, that didn't used to be there. There is no stink unless people add it. Why did they start adding it? Yeah, because this school blew up and people were horrified. So bad things do sometimes bring good changes. All right, so this is a second or third person account, right? The person that wrote this wasn't there, but these people, first person accounts, they were there. Let's see what they have to say. W.G. Bud Watson was in 8th grade. He now lives in Kingwood. I was in shop class, which was on the first floor, with about 30 other boys. It was getting close to quitting time. I was doing some welding in the front room when our teacher, Lemmy Butler, must have pulled an electrical switch to get a machine to work. Next thing I knew, I was picking myself up outside of the building. I don't remember flying out the window, but the building was still coming down. Talk about lucky, huh? If he'd have flown into a wall, he was dead. If he'd have flown and landed on something sharp or a big boulder or something, he'd have been dead. But somehow he went right out that window. Just imagine how lucky that guy is. This one's my favorite here. Robert Hatfield was in 5th grade. He now lives in Amite, Louisiana. I didn't want to go to school that day, but I asked my mother if I could stay home, and she said no. So I started on, got ready, walked out the door, then turned around and went back inside. I said, "Can I come home and study, period?" And she said no. So I went off to school and I was nervous all day. I just didn't want to be there. Think about that. I didn't want to go to school. I was nervous all day. I didn't want to be there. Did this guy have some kind of intuition, some kind of psychic power? Think about it and decide for yourself. And the next to the last period, I was in math class, and I told the boy behind me that I was going home. I asked the teacher, and she didn't care. I asked the principal, Mr. Wagner, if I could go home instead of going to study hall. He said, okay, as long as you get your lessons. So I started home. I didn't live but half a mile from the school. Just before I got to the house, I saw my mother come out the front door. Since she had told me not to come home early, I was fixing to get tore up. We were standing about 10 feet apart when the school blew up. Boom. One more. Margaret Nichols, whose maiden name was Siller, was in the 7th grade. She now lives in Bowie. I had a headache that day, and I'd gone out to my uncle's car to lie down in the back seat. I guess I was asleep when a boulder came through the front windshield. All of a sudden, I was covered with dust. So imagine what would have happened if she was in the front seat. Yep, she'd be dead, all right. All right, so the next ones are really powerful too. Go ahead and read, pay attention to details, and we'll come back and talk about these towards the end of class. If you have any questions, message me. And where are we? We're right above the Nathan Dorham on page 3.